Well, good afternoon. I hope you're all okay. It seems to be just a little bit chaotic out there. It's non-stop anxiety and stress week. I can understand why. The news is just insane. It is just crazy out there. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some techniques with you, some really good tips to help you to stay calm and relaxed and focused. It's crazy. The news has been blown out of all proportion. They're not giving us proper information, and no wonder so many people are feeling anxious and stressed. I'm seeing people who've never had any problems with anxiety before suddenly getting in touch with us. It's just driving people over to that boiling point. So the best things that you can do is to look after yourself and to feel good. And you do have a choice about doing that. So to answer the big question that everybody's hitting us with is, yes, we're in business as normal. However, we're now moving people over to video calls. It's very easy. You just need a laptop with a camera or a smartphone, and we can do sessions to help bring anxiety and stress down very quickly using these lovely techniques. And this means you don't have to go out. You don't have to meet anybody. It's good if you're self-isolating, and it's a lovely way to work, and it's a little bit cheaper as well. So if that's something that would interest you, we can arrange a free call, have a chat, see what's going on. And the idea is let's get you feeling really good as soon as possible. So today's tips to help you to feel calm and relaxed despite all this chaos in the work. Very, very powerful. They're very, very simple. Anybody can do these. And we teach these to a lot of our clients and find these are very, very effective. So the first technique we're going to use, it's an NLP technique, and it's known as reframing. So if you imagine you've got a lovely picture and you put it in a brand new frame, you'll notice that the colors in that picture will look a little bit different, or it might look very different. You might not like it as much, but when we reframe things, they change very slightly. So to do that with what's going on now is, yes, there's lots of negatives going on in the press, which I suggest switching most of it off. It's all over social media. But how can we reframe having to self-isolate, to have this worry of a virus about? How can we reframe that to be positive? And the first thing I'd suggest is that we look at it as a holiday. If they're going to tell us that we're going to have to stay indoors or, not go to work for 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks, treat it as a holiday. Don't panic about it, but just think, what would I do if I had an extra month to feel good? What would I want to do? So the first things that come to mind is you may want to improve your health. You may want to get into some self-improvement. There may be a load of jobs around the home that you want to do. There might be family and friends that are close to you that are nearby that you want to spend a bit of time with in moderation, being careful with all of that. There's a lot of things we can do. So we need to reframe it. For people like me who run a business, I've seen lots of other people in business who are scared now. They've built the businesses up. They've been spending a lot of time. And now it's going to have to stop, or there could be interruptions. So first of all, again, look at it as a holiday. What could you be doing? What are all those tasks that you haven't got around to doing yet that would benefit your business? There might be a lull in the income, and that'll sort itself out. We'll find a way. However, it might be that you get those taxes done. It might be there was something with a website that you needed doing. You might have had to learn some new skills and be creative to do new tasks. You could look at it, how could I use this business to help people locally? I'm seeing a lot of food businesses now that were going to sort of quayside markets and everywhere else, and now looking to see if they can put a delivery service together. So it's time to be a bit creative. And really what you want to do is to focus on those positives. Yes, there's lots of negatives floating around and we don't like it. But if we focus on those positives of how can we make things better, what can we do, it's amazing. Look at all the things you've not had the time to do and what can you do with those. So first of all, reframe it and look at all the things that you want to do. And that could be, you might want to spend time in the garden. There's a load of books I've got sitting on the shelf I've got as presents that I've not got to yet. And I'm going to try and schedule in an extra hour a day just to read. I find that really calming and relaxing. You could exercise more and lose weight. You just need to go out and go for a walk. You're allowed to do that if you're self-isolating. You might want to catch up on some positive TV. So find some positive stuff, not the negative stuff. And look at all of these tasks. It's really important. Second thing to do, and this is a big one, especially with these sort of issues, is we need to add in some self-care relaxation time. Again, repeatedly, the number of people who come to me who are in a bit of a state and don't do anything for self-care. They don't do anything at all. So that could be you just get up in the morning. Great thing is you might be able to have a bit of a lie-in now if we're not going to work as much. You could listen to something positive. If you look at our YouTube channel, we've got loads of relaxation and self-hypnosis techniques that are in there, which are good. You could learn to meditate. Again, reading's very good. A gentle walk out with the dog or just by yourself, listen to the birds and nature and everything else. All positive self-relaxation stuff. And I'd suggest that maybe you're doing that 2 or 3 times a day. Maybe the minute you get up, do it about lunchtime, and then in the evening, and just avoid all that negative stuff. If you see a negative post, just scroll past it. For God's sake, switch the news off. You'll hear about it sooner or later, or just maybe watch it once a day. If you're sitting there watching it going round and round and round, for God's sake, please stop that. It's not a good thing to do. Other things that you can do is tapping. You've probably seen this tapping thing that people do. Get on. There's loads of videos on YouTube. Learn to do that. That's a good way for calming down. Reading, exercise, cooking. Now, lots of people say to me, oh, I'd love to get healthy, but I'm not really good at cooking meals. And my usual response is try one a week. Go on to YouTube, look at favorite dishes, ask your friends, learn to cook something nice and healthy, and then do it again. However, you've got a full week. So you could do 2 or 3 new dishes a week. Cooking can be really relaxing. Put on some good music while you're doing it. I love cooking when I get the time to do it. So that's something that's really good. A big thing I would say though, folks, is health-wise, if you're smoking, now is your time to stop it. We know that you're much more likely to have problems with this virus floating around. And now is the time basically to say, come on, let's save a load of money and look for some resources online to stop smoking, or I can help you with that. Smoking is a big thing, but it's a time to make these changes. Again, what are we going to make positive out of this chaos at the moment? Tip number 3 are 2 techniques you can use to stop it when anxiety or stress or panic attacks are coming on. So the first one that's really important is breathing. We need to get our breathing right. People who are anxious and stressed or having a panic attack are breathing very, very shallowly in the top of the chest, right up here. That means there's way too much CO2 going into the system, not enough oxygen. It makes us tense and it makes things worse. So the first thing to do is just breathe in for 4 and breathe out for 4. Put on some relaxing music and just learn to breathe in for 4 and out for 4. And do it enough so that your stomach's moving in and out. And it might feel a little bit uncomfortable when you start, but again, just like riding that bike, the more we do it, the easier it becomes. And then also you can close your eyes and visualize that you're breathing in through the center of your chest. And when you visualize that happening as it's coming in and out, that also helps to calm us down. And then what I want you to do is to introduce extra breaths out. When we breathe in, it actually makes us a little bit more anxious and stressed and pushes the beats per minute above the heart. But when we breathe out more, it takes it way back down. So if we can breathe out for 2 more than we breathe in and just practice that, you're going to feel so much better. And that's the start of stopping all these panic attacks and anything else that's going on. And then the second part of it is you want to sort of focus on how would you rather feel. And you've got a choice of either going back to something that you've done in the past where you felt really good. It might have been a holiday. It might have been a walk on the beach or in the woods, spending time with a pet or a child. Or it could just be, how do I want to feel? And focus on how you want to feel. This is really important that you focus on how you want to feel. We spend all this time thinking about how we don't want to feel. When clients come to see me, I say, how do you want to be? They say, not stressed, not anxious. I go, no, 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 no. How do you want to feel? And they say, oh, I don't know. I said, well, how about you feel relaxed? You feel calm? How would that actually feel? How good would that be? And for some people, that's quite foreign when we begin. However, if we do it again and again, it becomes easier and it becomes repetition. So again, we want to focus on the breathing, visualizing how we breathe in and out, breathing out more than we breathe in, and then focus on something positive that we need to. So it's quite a good way to do that. And it's just practicing that. And again, if you look at our YouTube channel, there's loads of tips and help for doing that. Number 4, sorry, is again, look for the positives in life. When there's a good exercise that I do. So you can use this as an example. So the idea is, as I get comfortable in the chair, is imagine you're going out for a daily walk. And what I want you to do is, as you go out for that walk, do the same one again and again. Is as soon as you go out, let's say you walk towards a field, is have a look at that field and notice all the positives you can see. So look at all the grass. Now, if you look at grass really closely, you'll notice that every single blade of grass is a slightly different color. So the idea is you want to look at that and notice all the colors, and then notice if there's any dew on the grass. And what else is around the grass? Are the dogs playing? Are the children? You know, what else can you see? Are the trees? What's the sky like? What's the sun like? Look for all the positives. But then also, you want to focus on the positive things that you can hear. So you might notice, as I did the other day, the sound of peace as there's no aeroplanes in the sky. To me, that's a good thing. Less pollution. It feels really good. You can hear the sound of the birds twittering away. You can hear the sound of the stream or the breeze. And it's just by focusing and looking again and again for the positives that you'll start to do this on a regular basis, and it becomes a habit, which is what you want to do. And then we need to move in how we feel. So how do we feel with the sun touching our skin? What's the breeze like? How do you feel in your neck, your back, and your shoulders? Notice how relaxed you feel. And then one of the things to do is to ask yourself, if all of these feelings had a color, what color would it be? And just pick the first one that pops into your mind. Don't think about it, just first one that pops into your mind. And then ask, if that had a place in your body, where would it be? And usually it's either in the chest, the stomach, the face, the mind, wherever it is. And then ask what shape it is. And then just remember that feeling. And the idea is spin that feeling around, say it's in your chest, spin it round and round, and just let it naturally expand up to the top of your head and down to the tips of your toes and out to the tips of your fingers. And this is very powerful. Whenever clients come to see me privately, we always do about half an hour's worth of work on this really good state of mind. So that means that when you go out there and there's other stuff going on, when you've practiced it, it's like you're switching it on, just like hitting that switch and switching it on and feeling really, really good. So going back to that walk, we've now gone through three things: things we can see, things we can hear, and things we can feel as we go out. And then do it again. Walk through the woods, for example. Notice the color of the trees. Notice are there more leaves than yesterday? What's different about the birds singing? What you notice in the woods? And just look for all the positive and lovely things that you can. You might want to take your phone or your camera and start taking pictures, but you can do that mentally as well. And it's exactly the same as if we go down the beach. I do this with my daughter. You know, we'll go down and she loves to see the sea. She loves to see the sand, and she loves to see the ice cream van or the chip shop. And then the sounds of the dogs, it's the sound of the waves, the sound of the ice cream van. And how does she feel? You know, it's the same thing. You can also go into what can you smell? What can you taste? And it's just exploring all these things. And you can go and spend a fortune getting all these books and learning about the power of now and everything else. It's just being aware of what's going on now and focusing and looking for those positives. And if you practice that 3 or 4 times a day, you know, you might be stuck in the house and it's windy outside. What's good about being inside? It could be the heat from the fire. It could be the sound of the relaxing music that you're playing. It could be the great food that you've got or something cooking on the stove. It could be the people you're around, that you're grateful for them. And again, it's just really, really pushing for all of these positives. And that's really important. So we need to focus the mind. And then the final tip I've got for today is we all need to look after our health, both mentally and physically. We need to be eating some good food. So, you know, we all know processed food should be a very small part of your diet. But fresh fruit and veg, really important. Raw nuts, really important. Supplements are really good. I recommend, and I'm not a nutritionist, but listening to a lot of the doctors and nutritionists I'm following, they're saying high amounts of vitamin D3. Not D2, proper D3, and take quite a lot of it. Some of them are saying 5,000 international units a day. That sounds really high, but at the minute, there's all these bugs and things floating around. We know that D3 helps to boost up the immune system and make us feel good. If you're feeling down or anxious or stressed, again, we need to have something like magnesium. Magnesium is really good in our diet, and you can either search online for where you can get it from or go and get a supplement. Vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is really important, especially from fruit and veg. When you buy vitamin C supplements, they're usually about 10 to 20% of vitamin C because that's ascorbic acid. It's not the full thing, and it's quite acidic. So I suggest just get yourself a load of tangerines, oranges, apples, bananas, just lots of fruit, and naturally get it in there. There's a great free little app if you want to look at this a little bit deeper called the Daily Dozen. That's free on both Android and Apple. Dr. Gregor's Daily Dozen. Look for that. That gives you a list of all the foods you need to eat every day. And if one of your goals through this holiday is you want to lose some weight, feel better, have more energy, if you work through the Daily Dozen and eat everything that you can that's on that list, you're going to struggle to have room for the junk foods, the chocolate, the cereals, the breads, the pastas, everything that's putting weight on. So just spend some time doing that. And really by eating those healthy foods, especially the greens, the onions, the garlics, you'll boost up that immune system, and it just helps us to reduce the risk of any problems that are going on. So there was 5 little tips there. The first one is reframing. Remember to look at things and how can we make it positive. 2, spend some time daily with some relaxation and self-improvement. A lot of you are going to have a lot more free time now, so get in and do that. 3 is breathing, relaxing with your breathing and then focusing on a good sensation. 4 is looking for the positives in life. Go out there and find them. They're all around you and they're easy to find. Inside, outside, listen to music, TV, whatever it is, just look for the positives and everything. And finally, get your diet and your supplements sorted out. Now, the big thing I've seen to you guys is there's all this negative stuff. And if it isn't this, remember we had Brexit. And before that, there was something else. There's always a crisis. There's always a problem. There's always a family issue. Life's going to keep hitting us with these curveballs, with problems. We can't do much about it, but how we feel and how we react to it makes such a difference. And really what you're doing is you're learning to manage those emotional and mental states. And that's exactly what I do with anxiety clients, is I bring people in, I teach them how to control their feelings. Emotional intelligence is the new word for it in America. And it's really just about looking at ways that you can feel better and control things and put you back in charge. Because I guarantee that although this is all horrible and we're hoping it's going to go away shortly, there'll be something else around the corner and something else. And you can choose to focus on all the problems, or you can focus on putting things right and enjoying the life the best that you can. So I hope that has helped you. If anybody wants a free consultation with me on the phone, drop me a message, send me a PM. You know how to do that. Remember, there's loads of free resources on our YouTube channel. You'll find more on the Facebook channel as well. I'll put links to all of that. And if you do want to work with me privately, just do let me know. We're doing this by video now, and it's nice and easy. And it's just good to get back in control and feel good. So take care of yourselves. We'll have another live shortly, and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.